Yes.
With our agent select. Dun,
We are
dun,
locking
dun.
in.
Oh, there
We
you
are
go. There you go.
serious.
Oh, never mind. Wait.
This. Okay, we got.
Oh, that was the other side that I saw.
You trolled.
I was like, where's the Silva for?
I'm excited for this Infiltrator Donut combo. I don't know if it was said beforehand, but this should just be so much fun.
It is going to be so much fun to like see them work in tandem, I think, together. And you got like an Infiltrator that just like dives in, goes crazy. Donut, same thing, but she can play a little bit more of that like slightly supportive role, like how we previously saw Envy working like the double duelist with Eggstar really early on into Challengers and whatnot. And then for the side of Crew, I feel like this lineup also makes sense when it comes down to the agents that we're seeing on the board here. It's going to be a really fun one, honestly.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I feel like also, like you guys are saying, the compositions here make sense for both. And we talked about the double duelists having those opportunities. And I'm looking forward to seeing Mephisto as well as Joe being able to play it on that side of KRLY. One thing that I feel like is important to mention is that not every team is having a coach right now for the extra support, and this Latin American squad having it, I feel like it does add a little bit more. So yeah, maybe they could get a one. Maybe I'll get my prediction wrong, and I know that people will love that.
We'll have to see how this match of Haven is going to be shaking up to see if you are in fact going to be wrong with your prediction. Thanks again, everyone, for bearing with us. We are ready now to head into the match. KRLY going up against Winthrop and Shopify. It's time to head into Haven with your casters, Marks and Tenric.
Thanks so much, Sierra, for introducing us to the most serious match of the year. Catastrophic consequences if these predictions are not right. Okay?
Lock in.
Everyone in this lobby is locked the hell in. But also, let the kids 6'7", man. I've been saying this. Like, let the birds fly free. Let the eagles fly with Shopify. I mean, if you putting Governor and Moobs with Dodonut and Alexis is just the most insane decision anyone's ever made. I don't know who greenlit that, but we're gonna be in goofy mode today. That being said, it's so exciting to see Leon pick up these players from Six Karma in Joe and Mephisto, as well as Fenice. I'm so glad that they found a new home, and I'm so excited to see them play with Munch and Michaela from Crew Blaze, and also Benji from Crew Academy.
Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like when we take a look at these rosters coming into this one, the Winthrop Shopify, we have a really strong idea on a lot of these players and how they kind of mesh well. And honestly, the vibes that they're going to be bringing there. On top of that, too, like the first time you guys are playing together, if you're kind of having that much fun, then no matter what the result is, you're going to see some fun plays on. But on the other side, for Crew and Leon kind of coming into this one, here's a little bit of here, a little bit of there, and a little bit of Benji just kind of getting inserted in the midst of all of this one. And you know, coming from the Ascension tournament, seeing Mephisto and Joe really just kind of take the reins on that previous Six Karma squad, really just kind of paving the way. And then you've got the backbone of Munch and Michaela, who honestly have just been looking spectacular. I mean, they called it out on the desk, the ace, the knife kill, all of these things. There's a lot of opportunity between these two teams to honestly kind of turn this one around and win it for the respective side. And I genuinely think that this one is a little bit more of a toss-up. But, you know, I predicted Winthrop University and Shopify because I just love the Winthrop guys. I really think that a lot of these players are underrated. And now getting to see them shine in a little bit of a different way, for me, it's just really cool to see.
And I think Alexis is going to have some great, going to be able to pass this torch to moves on the controller as well. I like the roles that they've set up here. Double duelist here from Leon, obviously, with Mephisto and Joe. Going to be pretty fun to watch them work, but Governor taken out pretty quickly after a bit of spamming through B main. Shopify, Winthrop starting off on the attack.
And it's really slow right now for the Winthrop Shopify side. Dodonut trying to feign a little bit of noise. Joe ready for that swing, and we've seen Joe do some pretty disgusting things on LAN previously. So you know that this guy is a little bit of a shooter, especially when it comes to this LAN environment. But Winthrop University should be able to, Winthrop Shopify, sorry, should be able to just get that spike nice down and easy. It will be a 5v4 retake though. And let's see how this one goes, because a lot of tools still available for the Crew Leon side.
You've at least cleared out the rest of the map, but Joe is going to ping that alarm bot and doesn't have a gate crash immediately free, so he's going to have to make a bit of a split decision in the meantime. Rest of KRLY has to just jump on. Infiltrator, the first wade into the water, is going to net the first blood on the site, but the rest of crew is going to be able to walk on here, and Munch has been good for 2. She'll start defusing that spike with coverage from Benji, who will also get on the board. And to speak to crew, oh my god, he's already doing it, dude. Holy. Dude. He had to beat him to the punch. He knew they were going to do it the second they went around.
And I'm going to be honest with you, like Mephisto specifically, we saw during Ascension, the 6 Karma run, Mephisto into this LAN environment, especially with there and hit them with the 6-7 right off the rip. You know he's going to be in a much better headspace, and I'm excited to kind of see him pop off. He started us out with the first kill there, and you know what? I want to see what this player is capable of, especially going up against the Winter Shopify matchup.
1 enemy remaining.
Stinger will clear out the court.
Down mid.
And that'll be a pretty one and done round. Oh, we bought. Okay. So it takes another shot to take him down, but that'll be a pretty easy clear away. I gotta say, I'm so happy that Benji also has a home, and crew has picked up a bunch of the Oxen core that they were supporting last year as well. He and PHC were 2 fantastic reasons to continue watching the team even after Dante got called up. So I'm excited to see him continue to work in LATAM as well.
Oh man, it's so painful to watch that replay. Dedrick, like they all just walk in the door.
It was a bit of a
right into the meat grinder. Yeah, and on top of that too, exactly like you said, they actually decided to buy up there. So Winter Shopify really just trying to run things down. Moob's already taking so much damage right off the rip here. Mephisto not quite done yet, but under a lot of pressure.
He's read that Infiltrator's already in, but not much you can do at this point. You just got to get what you can, but Donut able to crack open that back line, and that'll open up the site pretty well, but Munch is just going to open it right back up herself. She's on the road to clear 3 on her lonesome, and with the help of a flash from Joe, it's going to be easy for her to finish that. Nice breakaway from KRLY to take the advantage back and devolve it to another spray war through the B door. Decoy into the flash out from Joe, who's just gonna try and one-hand this, but yeah, he got more than enough people on this, and so it's a very quick 3-0 to kick us off.
Yeah, these are like lightning fast rounds. I think that is mostly just because of how the pacing from Winthrop Shopify have been, but we're actually really getting to see the crew Blaze players right now really shine through and be able to just kind of accept all of that aggression and be ready to counter it with their own defense. It's been looking so clean. Every single time we see the Russian come down, it immediately the door is just slammed shut right in their face. Mephisto under a lot of fire, just kind of scrambling to the back of the site. And then the rest of the crew Leon players just kind of flying in, make sure that that player is supported. And Mephisto stays alive in the midst of all of that. So great stuff already, though. A lot more pressure yet again.
They've tried to escort Michaela behind the boxes to meet this early, but the real fight's going on through the sewer, and Benji and Mephisto are just going to walk it down this time. Michaela will finally poke her head out, too, and that's another quick clearing of a so fall. And I mean, I'm very impressed by how staunch everyone on KRLY is. A couple of them, to be fair, did not have very far to travel for this tournament, so maybe not hit as hard by that. But I mean, they are just sinking their teeth into this defense so far. They're running it down.
Yeah, they really are. And honestly, you say that they're running it down, but actually I would kind of make the argument for the other side, because with their Shopify, they're just running into the brick wall that is KRLY at the moment. Like,
kind of walking into this a little bit.
Yeah, like they're just going in there, and then you see spray downs just happen through the smokes. Not a lot of the players of KRLY really maneuvering around. They're just kind of holding these crossfires and are basically rewarded in the midst of all of it. If you are with them Shopify, we need to see either a little bit more respect playing or a little bit more utility to kind of clear and flush those players back on that defense. That should give you a little bit more wiggle room in order to be able to position yourself and get that rush set up so you can overwhelm the site. But just kind of sending it in. You know, the vibes are still high, but you gotta secure a couple of those kills if you want to win out this map.
Yeah, still going for this early breakout for A-Lane control. KRLY just going to toss a little bit into it. Michaela not as heavy into the counter util as she has been. Joe going to take a couple steps into the sewer, make sure no one's gotten too close, but Moobs is watching it and even pre-fired it. I think if he saw that first and just didn't manage to hit the shot.
Definitely different pacing now from Winthrop Shopify. Aldrone does get a little bit of information, at least secures where that turret is, but look at Mephisto, so pushed up here, and well, that really limits the options of Winthrop Shopify. Looks like they will be going on to the safe site, but still a lot of players holding strong.
Pay attention to Alexis on this lurk as well, especially now that that alarm bot's been able to catch him. That'll alert Mephisto to the fact that Alexis is also still here, though, so KRLY will be prepared for the sandwich or the pivot.
30 seconds.
Yeah, Mephisto is watching that and will bring Governor down to 5 HP, but yeah, here comes Alexis. Trail's been made. Munch is privy to it and wins the 1v1. But Mephisto's position is still found. So all is not lost for Winthrop Shopify. They don't have too much they have to pay attention to just yet, so they get the spike down.
And now it's going to be this 5v3 retake. Plenty of tools available for KRLY. Looks like they are going to be going aggressive here. Moobs finds 2, and suddenly this is turned completely on its head.
Oh, the lineup onto the Blazers. That is a toughie. And another setup intact for the front line on this defensive retake. Mephisto turns onto Dodo Nut and makes it a 2v2. Governor's still on that crumb. It's got to be the double swing to try to facilitate, but Mephisto adjusts and does it all himself. Too bad he wasted the 6-7 already. What does he do for this one?
Yeah, used up on the 6-7 when he wasn't even really the star of that round, but that time around, I mean, once again, like it feels really what's the best way to describe this? It feels like if there was a team meeting before we actually got into these matches, Winthrop University and Shopify Rebellion might have just went into the back room and we're just like hanging out, having a good time, like super excited to meet each other, vibing, and doing all that type of stuff. Whereas on the other side, Crew as well as Leon, it feels like they really sat down and tried to think through a game plan. Of course, this is the kind of hometown turf for some of these Crew Leon players, but still, like when it comes to where each of these individual players are holding and how they want to kind of go about and play things, they're looking extremely strong. And it's just a matter of crossfires, honestly, and finding timings. Mephisto, once again, a player who I kind of had big expectations to kind of come into this one. So far has been living up to it and looks extremely comfortable up here on the stage.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a stage that he's already played on for LATAM finals a couple times at this point. So, you know, it's a place that he literally knows all too well as it is. Spotlight Series as a tournament, though, is something that only Alexis and Karn have played in before. Like last year, they're the only 2 returning players, and they were on separate teams last year too. And obviously, you know, this tournament is not like there's not a lot of like conditioning you can do for this. So I'm not saying that there's an experience buff, but it is kind of fun to see the same sort of vibe with a different setting and with so many different players, particularly from this tier 2 scene that in Americas in particular has just been budding. So much of VCT 26 has been impacted by the insane skill ceiling that has risen in this region.
100%. Looks like it's going to be a fast pop here on its side. Just such good awareness. Infiltrator, though, ready for the trade.
Yeah, that's good awareness to be able to get that early counter frag, but the rest of KRLY's already here. Mephisto almost finalizing with those blades. Now you just got to step into the smoke, and Governor can at least turn on to the one, but Benji can take care of the rest. And everyone's getting more than just theirs so far on Crew V1. Good luck getting a 6-7 scoreline this game, guys.
Yeah, like it literally is just them kind of running through things and just being like, all right, time for me to pop off now, and then just kind of flying through. And
yeah, my turn.
See Mephisto absolutely pop off. Well, Munch as well, just kind of holding things down. And wow, speaking of vibes right now, things are looking pretty good on the Crew Leon side here. They're coming in, 2 ultimates on the board. Winthrop Shopify, though, have all 5 available. Not going to have enough money to be able to buy up across the board here. So I do wonder what is in store here. But once again, like, it really feels like Crew Leon cannot do anything wrong on these rounds.
Yeah, just a little more aware, a little more tuned in. I think, yeah, Winthrop and Shopify, certainly not phoning it in, but It's definitely still a lot more vibey. That is what the group stage is for, though. Very inconsequential, most of these games. Purely to get to those semis that are happening tomorrow, where everyone will still get to play. Governor poking around with this Hunter's Fury is going to be able to find Benji, and that's going to be an attempt to escort everybody in, but Michaela holding it down on site for a little too long will reopen things before Winthrop can fully control. And Joe's still on this lane after the drift. Is going to still stick a thorn in the side here. You've got to manage multiple angles, and Alexis, the only one left, can deal with the Ditto. On to Munch. That was a hell of a firefight to get Winthrop Shopify on the board.
Yeah, and it opens up with the combination of the Dimensional Drift alongside the Hunter's Fury. You can tell it's very well coordinated. We get to see a lot of value being done. Governor able to find a couple of kills, and it's just that chaos element, right? Like, it's so chaotic on the A site. You see all the different players of KRLY trying to look at so many different angles, because at this point, Shopify and Winthrop University have completely overwhelmed the site. And it just kind of comes down to those individual gunfights. But the curse is broken. We get to see Winthrop University, Shopify Rebellion. They get their first round on the board. Let's see if they can scrounge together a couple more. 5 left in this half here. And still quite a few ultimates on the side of KRLY starting to pile up. They've only got Alexis's lockdown on the side of Winthrop Shopify.
Joe, very early to this. Gate crash expired. Don't matter. You got Spike, you got a head tap. Another fight. Infiltrator re-up it and actually managed without taking a lick of damage. Good turns. Michaela, once again, planted very on the inside.
Enemy down.
To manage outside the door. Michaela, all the while, though, just deals with everything.
Remember on the desk? How they were just like, Michaela's gonna find an ace on B. I mean, not an ace. However, we're seeing Michaela be so effective on that B site so far. Genuinely speaking, every single time we do see Shopify Winthrop try and run a B attack, it always feels like Michaela has their number. Is ready to just walk in there and just completely shut things down. And honestly, there's so much room that's being taken by KRLY. They're all over the map all the time. And it really isn't unless we get to see that Winthrop Shopify kind of crunch down in onto one of the sites. We just see the map control squarely and securely on the side of KRLY. And as a result of that, they're finding Winthrop Shopify in so many unfortunate timings, so many unfortunate angles. And they're just stringing rounds together here. As once again, it's a bit of a...
Yeah. Keeping it a little grody, a little grimy. Let's late in the half. Just keep on running through it. No management so far. Just keeping everything respectful. They've been tossing out the drone earlier and earlier these rounds, despite the different tempo shifts that they'll take regardless. I guess it's to suss out either Munch or Michaela just because they've been so close so often. But, I mean, Munch is going to find a lineup no matter what.
So you're going to be coming in now. Munch smartly actually backing up here, waiting for the rest of the team to kind of go through moves. Almost finds a time, but has to back out of that one.
Good policing. That lets KRLY kind of pressure the garage again, but they have to throw a Prowler at the window, and then this fight is still so awkward. Moves will get away with the 2-piece. Yeah, that's still well managed by him. And then the lockdown toss down. That is tough for KRLY, and it's an easy shutdown on every end from Win. And that was good early aggression to kind of goad KRLY forward, but after the smoke got set up on site, they didn't have an immediate ticket in, so it seems like Crew just wanted to try to rip the Band-Aid off and aggress before they could set up shop on the site, and Moob's able to hold that opening down so well.
Yeah, Tenrec, I've cracked the code here. I think I figured out what it takes for Winthrop Shopify to start to win some of these rounds. Hear me out here. Put your tinfoil hats on. But it always comes down to the spike plan. I know, kind of crazy to say out loud. But genuinely speaking, when we see them actually put the spike down, and we see them start to be really aggressive into KRLY, then we see those opportunities where, you know, KRLY almost look like they're just not anticipating the level of aggression. They're consistently being surprised there, and then it's just Winthrop Shopify just kind of running all over them. When KRLY really shine is when they shut Winthrop Shopify down on the entry to the site. So as long as Winthrop Shopify can kind of walk in and get that spike down and bypass that first layer of aggression, then it's looking very much into their favor. Let's see how this next one goes, though. I might be completely wrong here, but given the buy coming through from KRLY, I'm anticipating that this is going to be a Winthrop Shopify round.
Yeah, already the slowness prevents that steal into the fast break that KRLY have slam dunked 7 times. Poking. Hey.
Not like this.
Hello. Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
I doubt Mephisto even feels good about that one. All right. Munch, gonna do her thing. Gets Dodo Nut on the entry in the TP, just watching it. And the pistol, what? Sure, why not? Yeah, we'll recoup on this round. Why not? Let's just don't even worry about getting rifles back. Moves on the op. 1v2, 19, well, 20 effective health. But the Haunt has tracked him down, so he's gonna have to TP away to... Oh! Play spoiler, maybe! TP ult active, he's out of there! 1v1 against Michaela. With Shopify could still save this.
What is going on, man?
I don't know, man.
What is going on? But this is actually an excellent position. Moobs very well seasoned with this operator in hand, shuts it down. Sends one right back over to the other side. But throughout the entire Ascension tournament on Winthrop University, they were consistently sticking moves on the chamber and always just playing kind of like that sniper overwatch. So this is a very comfortable position here. Things got a little bit rambunctious. I do like the calling on the side of KRLY. You can tell that the paranoia coming through, excellent timing, everything feels nice and coordinated. But when it comes down to that clutch scenario, moves with an operator comes out on top. Winthrop Shopify now at 3. Infiltrator already blinded up, not able to really escape as Mephisto finds the headshot through a smoke. It is chaos bananas right now.
There's not many places Infiltrator could go, but still the fact that Mephisto found that in, what, 2 shots? Maybe even just the 1. So impressive. Another ping, another connection, this time onto Benji, but the rest of the backline is controlled. Governor and moves, shut back down. And that push has been reduced to rubble. Munch, another classic kill.
Time when Winthrop Shopify tried shop.
I think you should be keeping score. You're doing great right now, yeah.
There's no winners on the desk, but however, if there are winners, I'm feeling pretty good right now. No, but once again, like, we're just seeing these opportunities, and I do think it kind of comes down to that entry that we're seeing from Winthrop. Their utility, not really using it to aid their entry, which is allowing for a lot of these angles here, as it's already chaotic right off the bat.
Yep, in we dive again. Once more in the sewers. Double swing, no, Governor with the drop-off, throwing off Michaela. Nice convergence, little sacrifice necessary. High reward. Interesting carve out. Benji holding this smoke without any step in. Munch is here on the window though, and Benji is ready. Oh, he doesn't even need the help. Damn! Wow. That was clean to get crew to 9-3.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Oh, man. Mephisto's got shivers there because that was ice cold coming through from Benji. I was thinking, okay, yeah, this is going to be one of those times Benji goes down. There should be an advantage here for Shopify Winthrop. But really, just the patience and just kind of chill vibes that we're kind of seeing from the KRLY side have been so well. It's working out perfectly for them, going up this little bit more chaotic side from Winthrop and Shopify. Winthrop and Shopify look like they're looking for those opportunities, look like they're just kind of sending it in, trying to find those individual frag out moments, and yet they're always just met with so much resistance from the KRLY side.
We'll see if that individuality can shine a little bit more and if the goofiness can still persist when we swap sides. We'll take a short breather and then we'll be back with the other end of Haven. Returning to Haven as Winthrop Shopify playing against KRLY. A really great start by just about everybody on the Spanish-speaking side. They've been in their element and holding their own. But the question is, Marks, will the other goofballs be able to do the same on their own defensive end? We saw some op shenanigans. We saw some individual shenanigans. We saw so much 6-7 in the first. I didn't think we'd be hammering it in any more than we already are, and we've already done it more.
It's just day 1 too, Tenrek.
It's
everywhere.
everywhere.
I want you to think about that. Yeah.
I can't escape it.
All I'm gonna say
She might do
is
it again right now. Car might do it again right now.
Don't manifest it right now.
Don't do it.
Cool.
Okay.
All I'm gonna say is I've heard that some parents have dressed up as 6-7 for Halloween, and to me, that's the sign that it's on its way out. So
Dude, yeah.
enjoy it while you can. You know, enjoy it while you can. But
we're gonna
also,
unfunify 6-7 by the end of this event.
Oh, great. I thought they were already doing that in GCC. But when we take a look at how this one is going, I find it really funny that you just labeled Winthrop Shopify as the goofballs here, because it has been a little bit goofy. But if they kind of pull things back, then I think there's a real opportunity. But never mind, Mephisto already going in, finds that pick onto Infiltrator. The spike going down onto this Beast site. It will be a 4v5 retake.
Nice vacuous jet v jet that Mephisto just wins outright. That's a nice confidence booster to start out your pistol. Rest of Winthrop Shopify gonna make it in through these B openings, and no smoke. Open season for Donut. Seeing how much more they can get away with. Benji a little spooked into the double swing. Nice wanted trap setup, and Michaela's still hanging out on the site, so you gotta manage 2 prongs with now just 1 stone. Donut, oh yeah, that's unfortunate. Just can't manage a full pull, so it'll be a couple standing left for another win for KRLY.
And I'm noticing something on the side of Winthrop Shopify. It really is when they're taking those duels and taking those engagements. Generally speaking, we actually don't see them comboing utility to kind of go in with like a flash or something like that, which is really contrasting to like the last 100 Thieves versus NV FlyQuest game that we saw, where consistently we were seeing so many flashes get so much value. This time around, it really just kind of comes down to a lot more of these like dry swings and relying on finding those first picks, which in this matchup, KRLY have definitely been coming out on top of. And you can see that there's a lot more confidence building on their side. So there's going to be Winthrop Shopify. They've got all sheriffs in hand, while KRLY do have a little bit of buy up here. Joe just kind of making sure that the back line is put together. My eye is still on Mephisto. Has the Outlaw in hand. Nice easy 1 taps just on the other side there. Once again, this should be a KRLY round to win.
Good to see Michaela not have to sort of root herself as often for these attacking plays as well. She can be a lot more fluid in her enabling. Case in point, Prowler straight away onto moves, forcing Donut to play alone and thus away after that first little bit of noise is made. But no exacting despite the smoke setups.
Don't forget.
And it is odd, isn't it?
On this new patch, the smokes take longer to come back. And
yeah, Benji has nothing for this 8-take that has 3 people on it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, they use so much utility, now have to use utility to clear out this side. They're gonna be walking into Winthrop Shopify holding it down.
Governor holds the first corner. He's not checked for a bazillion years. Mephisto eventually able to counter frag, and Alexis, oh, that's some nice Euro step in to grab a freebie. And still on your way out. You've got help now, stepping into it to try to dual munch, but she'll win that. It's down to Infiltrator, but out of shots, Benji can counteract. 8 seconds to go. Doesn't know how far away Moobs is. He's gonna have just enough time to get the spike down and reset for the duel with the ghost, but Moobs lands the shot and saves the round for Winthrop Shopify.
Moves again with a clutch. And once again, I really think it just kind of came down to that call to fake that B site. I wonder if on the other side, they're like, listen, we saw what happened last time we won pistols. They ran at us with stingers galore. We need to just mitigate all of that. If we just use all your utility on the B site, surely Winthrop and Shopify will just run out at us and then we can just kind of wait it out. And nothing kind of happened there. And so you see the pivot gets made, but all this utility is kind of expended. And then at that point, it's just with the Shopify just kind of walking in and holding it down. Despite the weaker weaponry, are able to find key kills with their own smokes. and just allow Moobs to do his thing. Moobs now with an Odin in hand, as it's going to be a rough buy for KRLY, but they're dedicated on going on this one fast.
Let's run it down. Let's go A lane. Let's do it all over again.
Bot coming back.
And we'll trade Jet for Sova for KRLY's entrance. But yeah, you don't, yeah, they're fine with not having Mephisto for this as long as nobody else is on. Spike goes down clean. So far, so decent for the Eco. 2 on Hell. First extension from Joe. It's a tough angle to take if you're getting entryed on an Infiltrator with the help of that Cloudburst. Yeah, he's able to make such an easy dent on his own, and now the
Oh my goodness.
Dodo Nut. Ooh, going shopping. 4-piece. Down for this Yoru. I'm so glad she's on the Yoru, dude. I was wondering who was going to take it for this, and I'm so glad that it's her, because she is having the time of her life being able to bookend these rounds with the TPs in. It's conventional. It's doing what she does, throwing her body at the problem or getting a 4K out of it, but she's always good for the objective. And Winthrop Shopify, they have so much less work to do. I mean, they didn't need Governor's util to entry the rest of that.
That's true. Yeah, Governor dropped so early on here, and actually you raise an excellent point. The combination of Dodo Nut alongside Infiltrator, both 2 duelists who just kind of love going in there and doing their own thing and finding the multi-kills or at least opening up the space. Obviously, we've seen it from Shopify Rebellion. Dodo Nut just kind of going in there, able to find crazy kills. But this is something that Infiltrator is also well known for on Winthrop University. And it wasn't until the other Challengers teams decided to really counter that and just anticipate the Infiltrator fly-in that we see Winthrop University have to change up their tactics. But now both of these duelists are just kind of flying in. Dodo Nut on the Yoru, very comfortable. Infiltrator on the Jet as well. Also, the 2 of them, and it's looking fantastic. Mountain in front of them as KRLY still leading with 5 rounds. And this time around,
Still that comfort. Oh, Joe, nice step out Governor once again, found early. And so now KRLY can continue. Through Shopify, as he said, they have that comfort with the double duelist, that split responsibility, but at the same time, that means you're splitting your stack that much more as well. Less resources to support purely.
30 seconds left.
So you're going to babysit a tad bit, especially when Infiltrator is this choked up on the garage, but Munch is not watching it. It's not fully finished, though, and Infiltrator is in panic mode. That's going to be instantly silenced by Munch. And KRLY are given the site. They had the moment. They had the opportunity. It just wasn't completed. And that may be the round done and dusted. Hold on, can poke back in. Lower health pool on the log presence, but Mephisto is playing close to it and can finalize that as well. Moves in the 1v4. Just have fun with it, man. That's what we're all here to do, right?
surely Moobs goes for it, right? Moobs.
Let's see. Come on.
6 foot king, you know? Unlucky.
All right.
You know, sometimes you just can't send it all the time there, but
maybe later when we're more tired in the group stage. These guys are still amped up. It's everyone's first match.
That's true.
Dude, the amount of goofballness that we can hit today. I mean, there are levels unknown that we could hit.
And honestly, this last round kind of came down to the linchpin of Munch not realizing that Infiltrator was holding that angle. Because Infiltrator just flick it over for that split second, spotting the killjoy, spotting Munch, trying to find that kill, completely just swung out his aim. And then the rest of KRLY kind of went through. If Infiltrator was still holding that angle, could have came up with a little bit more there, but then exactly like you said, went into panic mode because of just kind of the chaos that was happening onto the site. And as a result of that, KRLY had such an easy time walking in and claiming that C site as their own. Things are starting to close a little bit more here. KRLY 2 more rounds in order to secure this series up against Winthrop Shopify. Sierra, the only person who predicted KRLY out of the 5 of us today. And honestly, is looking pretty good with how this map has kind of unfolded thus far.
We're not going to hear the end of that.
No, we aren't.
He's going to be like, and you're welcome, and the curse is broken. Another gorgeous step up. I mean, that, like, I admire Benji's paranoia there, because that, again, that splits the board really easily, but still, that's just pure aim walking out of that. So impressive.
Spike plant.
Cutting through.
Oh, Spike goes down nice and easy. 3v5 here, Governor, only with a Marshall in hand. The utility Owl drone spots him out.
CP out, drone to support. Infiltrator can't get far. Have the garage cut. Michaela turns onto that too. She's going for a fourth, and she won't find it, but Mephisto will quickly follow up. And we're on the verge of 13-5, number 2 here in the group stage.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, all of the players on KRLY at this point have had a pop-off moment in this series.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is like, yeah, sure, we started this off with a little bit more like goofball energy, but like you'll look at some of their faces now, and they're just like, they're so dialed in. Like they're like, you know, we're still having fun right now, but we know exactly how we want to play this one. And these last rounds have been looking absolutely clean coming in from them. And now they do have that Nightfall available, scattered by for Winthrop Shopify, but this could potentially be the last round in this match.
Governor with that Hunter's Fury pressure is gonna let Dodonut walk up unfiltered and unscathed, and even so, Michaela will drop the spike by getting tapped by it, so Dodonut has a free policing. Munch instantly steps into it. Infiltrator trying to activate God Mode with this Blade Storm to try to hold on to that spike space, but the lockdown is gonna fully control it again for KRLY. They can hold on to this T-spawn for another 30 plus seconds if they need to. Infiltrator, is he gonna hold this? Oh, he's gonna stick around! Is he checked in time? They know he's somewhere. Can they find him? Oh, I don't think they can!
Spike down.
Infiltrator's safe! The rest of KRLY is still away, though. And Mephisto finally caught. Infiltrator's position revealed, and Benji can turn back onto it, so it's only good for one at the end of the day. But a 1v1 that Benji is prepared for. Alexis will win it out, though. And Winthrop Shopify will last at least one more round after the fight is brought to them.
It just feels like if there is Fog of War in Valorant, we just saw a round where Fog of War was ever present all over the map there, because everybody just happened to be looking the wrong way, not anticipating where another one of those players are, with the lockdown kind of coming through there. So early on, kind of trying to deal with the aggressiveness that Winthrop Shopify were kind of applying to that middle lane there, and somehow Infiltrator staying alive in the midst of all of it. And that really is the linchpin that makes KRLY kind of lose their cool in the midst of all of that chaos. Coming out absolutely strong, but we go yet again. 3 ultimates now online for KRLY here, as Mephisto goes in deep with the Blade Storm, able to find Infiltrator.
That's a sick switch up with the updraft. What a change in movement. And Governor, the walk down through the smoke, getting a free 2-piece before the fight is even said and done. Oh, it's a beta co-ed chaos continuing here on A main. Joe with his own 2-piece to carry himself out and bring it back to even Stevens. But Munch still stuck here, and Moob's free to run it down garage or sewer. Make up a lot of this space already. The sandwich, it's coming, and Munch not prepped again. This time punished far quicker. And Joe in the 1v2 to try to get this done here and now.
Is going to actually decide to escape out of here, or at
Still
least
has the
fake the
flash.
gate crash. Has an idea that maybe that flank is going to be going on here. Trying to get that one out, but there's no idea at least where one of these players are. Moobs is going to try and go for it.
Yeah, 30 seconds and Moobs is choosing to go for it, but Joe doesn't turn back. Oh man, he set the trap and everything, but he just thought enough time had passed. So that's the opportunity gone. 12-7 now. We got a bit of a game on our hands, I think. And it's like you can't sort of just plunge into the depths anymore. Winthrop Shopify are going to be prepped for it. Governor's going to get in front of it. Karn is going to be, quicker to it. They're starting to get, a little condition to it.
Yeah, and you say like you can't just kind of like plunge into it, but at the same time, I think Winthrop Shopify are the ones who are plunging into.
Yeah, they're just plunging right back. They're diving right back.
Yeah, like it's just like, oh, okay, well, we think that we should have been able to flesh out this spot, and then what? Someone completely just walked around the smoke, and you just walked by him, and suddenly it's a nice and easy kill. And so we need to see KRLY start to mitigate some of that. Cross their T's, dot their I's, pay a little bit more attention, make sure that everything is very formulaically checked, because those gaps are where Winthrop Shopify have been starting to win these rounds. It's an easy take onto this A site. The weaponry is weaker here, but we've seen a ton of clutches come through from KRLY just on this map. So let's see how this one goes. Alexis is going to be starting us off with a lockdown.
And you still have the drift too. Governor taken care of quick. And they'll stick this corner. They're not afraid to keep both the duelists here, too. Michaela just sticking it out on the approach. I just didn't expect him to come in so soon, but they're here now. And Infiltrator's taking that high ground and is holding on to it. Nice kill on the Mephisto. Benji is also completely intimidated. These smokes are doing half of the work for them. Not even everybody needs to die before the defuse is done. Winthrop Shopify have one of the cleanest rounds we've seen yet.
Yeah, and like a very key point of that was Infiltrator just kind of going up there. And especially with the smokes kind of coming down, you see how tactically they are placed. Obviously moves right now on this Omen, kind of setting up those defensive smokes. But it's once again, just really well played because Infiltrator on top of the box, able to watch long and then swing around and apply pressure onto short as well. Makes it so that there's so much more hesitation from the KRLY on side to even try and make their way back in. They no longer just have to deal with players potentially pushing out of the smokes, but then have to flick their mice upwards to deal with the jet on top of the boxes. It felt like almost an impossible win scenario with just the vanguard that was being created by Winthrop Shopify. And now we're seeing them slow down a little bit. It is a timeout for KRLY as a Winthrop Shopify. It was looking pretty done and dusted for them, but they're slowly climbing up that ladder one ring at a time as they're now only 4 rounds separating these two teams.
Yeah, they've been making the climb. They've been keeping the fight going. And look, I mean, the more time that we get to spend with each other now, the better that these playoff games are going to look as well. Again, relatively inconsequential day today, but we ain't just here to have fun. There is money on the line, and there is the excuse to be able to 6-7 if you win enough rounds. So these guys, they're playing for something, I'm telling you. But still the Dimensional Drift online for Winthrop Shopify. Good thing, too, because the Nightfall is free for Michaela due to her going down so early in the previous round. Early Prowler to suss out Garage. This alarm bot's not immediately checked, and in fact, it'll proc out, but Joe still finds the first pick through the opening before Infiltrator can make a choice to really connect onto something. Still, Joe's low.
Man, if Infiltrator just sprayed there, could potentially come up with 3, but just on the other side of the smoke, unaware of what could happen here. And we're seeing once again, Winthrop Shopify be a man down really early on in this round, and Donut going exploring, at least able to scout out Mephisto in the midst of all of it, just to kind of confirm that nobody is outside of Garage anymore.
Probably confirming the C-pin with the way that he was going. So yeah, they'll be there this quick. Little scary how alone Alexis is at the moment. There's the TP in from Joe. Great paranoia to force her to be blind. Rest of crew jumping in, and Munch will grab 2 from the corner. She just chokes up. She doesn't even worry about the spike. It's just the fight that needs to be managed, and KRLY will finally manage it for that 13th time they need to take their first win of the group stage.
And once again, that time around when they were moving in onto the site, Mephisto just able to completely circumvent them, go into the back line, and set up such an uncomfortable position onto Winthrop Shopify. And finally, when things are starting to spiral a little bit out of control there for KRLY, they're able to close out a round and therefore close out the map. Once again, we talked about Winthrop Shopify being a little bit goofy at the start there, but you could see them really start to pull it together on that second half. And there were a couple of ideas, we're not just kind of sending it anymore, playing off a bit more utility, holding these interesting angles, or willing to take the fight into KRLY, which that's really when things started to shine. But unfortunately, they're going up against KRLY, who have looked so clean ever since that first half with how things kind of played out for them.